الرحمن الرحيم والحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين حبيب إله العالمين أبي القاسم محمد اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد صلى الله عليك يا مولانا يا أبا عبد الله صلى الله عليك يا ابن رسول الله صلى الله عليك يا ابن أمير المؤمنين صلى الله عليك يا ابن فاطمة المظلومة ما خاب من تمسك بكم وأمن من لجأ إليكم يا ليتنا كنا معكم سادتي فنفوز والله فوزا عظيما أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الله لا يغير ما بقوم حتى يغيروا ما بأنفسهم آمنا بالله صدق الله العلي العظيم صلوات اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. For the love of Abba Abdullah Hussain, with the loudest of our voices, sallu ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. And for the love of Imam Amir al-Mu'mineen, with the loudest of our voices, sallu ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. And for the hastening of the reappearance of our awaited Savior, Aba Salih al-Mahdi, with the loudest of our voices, sallu ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuhu. Once again, we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala azza wa jal for granting us with this second opportunity, the second night of the holy month of Muharram, to continue seeking nearness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through the values and the teachings of Aba Abdullah salawatullahi wa salamuhu alayhi. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa Muhammad. Last night, mu'mineen and mu'minat, if you recall very well, we looked at Muharram rituals and honoring the symbols of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We outlined some of those rituals as per the traditions of Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam, and then we went ahead to look at the best possible ways of upholding or honoring the symbols of Allah azza wa jal. Tonight being the second night of this holy month of Muharram, remember our theme of these discussions is inspirations from Ashura. In other words, we're going to try as much as we can to learn some of the practical lessons that were taught and established by Aba Abdullah. And as I said last night, the benefit of these lessons and the benefit of these majalis is for I and you to try as much as we can to implement these lessons in our lives. Otherwise, there is no point You get to know something, or you are taught something, or you hear something, and you go out of the mosque or Imam Bara and you do nothing out of it. The benefit of it is when you hear something is to try as much as you can to implement it based on your capability. So, inspirations from Ashura. The verse I've just quoted from glorious Quran is Quran 13 verse 11. That is Surah Al-Ra'd. A bit long verse, but I chose just part of the verse, where Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala says, Inna Allah la yughayyiru ma bi qawmin hatta yughayyiru ma bi anfusihim. Indeed, Allah will not change what is with people until and unless they change what is in themselves. If you do not intend to change, Allah will not change you. If you do not intend to become a better person, miracle will not happen. Allah will not make you a better person. So, inna Allah la yughayyiru ma bi qawmin hatta yughayyiru ma bi anfusihim. Now, departing from this beautiful verse, our topic of tonight is Imam Husayn alayhi salam, heavenly initiative on earth. And our examination will be of the following stages. The first stage, we will look at the relationship between Allah's will and the servant's will. You are Allah's servant. Allah has irada. You have your own irada. What is the relationship between the irada of Allah and your irada? Second stage of our examination, we'll then look at social change vis-a-vis individual change or personal change. And then the third stage of our examination, we'll then look at the elements of change. And then fourth stage of the examination, we'll look at Imam Hussain heavenly initiative. And then the last stage of the examination, we'll ask a question. What is our relationship and our approach towards Imam Husayn's heavenly initiative? Do you just come to the majlis? After that, you fold your arms and go away? Do you come to the majlis? After majlis, you gossip? Do you come to majlis? After majlis, you are racist? Do you come to majlis? After majlis, you marginalize? Do you come to majlis? After majlis, you don't bother about the affairs and the plight of those who are suffering? So we will look at this heavenly initiative and how we relate to this heavenly initiative. So remember, the idea of tonight's discourse is for each and every one of us to go out of this majlis thinking of, how do I change to become a better person? So that I'm able to stop justifying wrongs, justifying unlawful acts. Imam Hussain wanted us to change positively. So if you claim to be Hussaini and you don't embark on a journey of positive change, then you don't belong to the camp of Abu Abdullah. Let's begin with our examinations. Iradatullah wa iradatul abd. Allah's will and your will. Allah's intention and your intention. Now what I want to do in this stage of my examination is to look at some verses of glorious Quran discussing Allah's will and our will. We'll then look at the relationship between the two wills and the two intentions. You have one ayah, the ayah I quoted earlier, the ayah in question for tonight's discourse. 13:11. Allah will not change your condition until you decide to change your condition. Allah will not make you wear hijab until you decide to wear hijab. Allah will not make you to love Abu Abdullah until you decide to love Abu Abdullah. Allah will not make you a better husband until you decide to become a better husband. Allah will not make you to become a better wife until you decide to become a better wife. Insan has got a free will to decide what you want. That's how Allah made us. So this ayah is saying, Inna Allah la yughayyiru ma bi qawmin hatta yughayyiru ma bi. That's one ayah. Take note of the ayah. Another ayah, Quran 81 verse 29. وَمَا تَشَاءُونَ إِلَّا أَن يَشَاءَ اللَّهُ رَبُّ الْعَالَمِينَ. You'll not desire until Allah desires. Notice whatever you want, it will not happen until and unless Allah stamp it, approves it. Otherwise it will not happen. You go, there is another ayah, Quran 18 verse 29. فَمَنْ شَاءَ فَلْيُؤْمِنْ وَمَنْ شَاءَ فَلْيَكْفُرْ. Whoever desires, believe. If you don't want to believe, leave it. You know, in Swahili, I don't know how many of you know Swahili, they say shawari yake. It's your cup of tea. You want to believe? You don't want to believe? You want to come to the majlis of Baba Abdullah? You don't want to come? You want to take a lesson from the majlis? Fine. You don't want to take? Somebody say, who pays someone tax? فَمَنْ شَاءَ فَلْيُؤْمِنْ وَمَنْ شَاءَ فَلْيَكْفُرْ. This is Allah talking to us. If you want, you believe. Of course, Allah wants us to believe, isn't it? But if you don't want, disbelieve. Now these are verses. The first two verses saying that it will not happen until Allah wants. But the third verse is telling us, if you want, you do it. If you don't want, leave it. So what is the relationship between what I want and what Allah wants? Scholars, when they come forward in the field of theology, they say the relationship between provider and the means of provision. Kindly pay attention, mu'minin and mu'minat. Because I'm talking about this to understand that your change is in your hand, my brother and my sister. Your destiny is in your hand. Your success is in your hand. To become a better Muslim is in your hand. To become patriotic citizen is your hand. To become a good neighbor is in your hand. So it's like the relationship between provider and means of provision. Example. You want to have a poem. For this to materialize, you need two things. Provider and the means of provision. Provider means what? Someone who renders the poem, the writer of the poem, the composer. But if the composer is there, it's not enough. You need ink. You need paper. This is means of provision. So when the provider is there and the means of provision is there, then it happens. Otherwise, it will not happen. Whatever you see in alamul madda, in the world of materialism, the world we live, it is dominated by material. We all see things, or we are in measurement. Limited by time, limited by space. So limited, narrow in terms of the thinking. Because we are controlled and managed by material. So this world of materialism, nothing will happen without these two forces. The provider and the means of provision. Example. When a child, a baby is in the womb of his mom, what is the cause? The first cause is the egg, and the other cause is the womb of the mother. So the egg is the provider, and the womb of the mother is the means of provision. Likewise, the relationship between Allah's will and our will is the same. Example, if I, Nuru Mohammed, I want to undertake an action. For example, I want to attend the majlis of Baba Abdullah at Masumin's Islamic Center. Or I want to make ruku. Or I want to make sujood. The moment I intend making ruku and sujood, Allah approves it. When you intend, Allah approves. If you don't, stays there. Yes, there are instances where ghaib happen. That's different situation. But under normal circumstance, you have a free will. What is free will? You've got intellect, desire, imagination. Animals have desire without intellect. Angels have intellect without desire. Insan is God, intellect, desire, imagination. That is free will. You can become better than angel. You can become worse than animal. That's the free will given to us by Allah. Hence Quran says, وَلَكَدْ ذَرَعَنَا لِجَهَنَّمَ كَثِيرًا مِنَ الْإِنسِ وَالْجِنِّ لَهُمْ قُلُوبٌ لَا يَفْقَهُونَ بِهَا وَلَهُمْ آذَانٌ لَا يَسْمَعُونَ بِهَا وَلَهُمْ أَعْيُنٌ لَا يُبْصِرُونَ بِهَا أُولَئِكَ كَالْأَنْعَامِ بَلْ هُمْ أَضَلُّ. نعوذ بالله. Allah said we'll prepare Jahannam with insan and jinn. Who are those insan? They've got eyes but they cannot see. They've got ears but they cannot hear. They've got hearts but they cannot comprehend. Allah said they are like animals, but worse than animals. You've got free will, Habibi, young and old. That is why Allah says, وَلَكَدْ كَرَّمْنَا بَنِي Adam. We've indeed honored and cherished the children of Adam. You've got free will. So when you decide, Allah approves. Likewise, if I intend reciting Quran, Allah approves. That is why the ayah says, وَمَا تَشَاءُونَ إِلَّا أَن يَشَاءَ اللَّهُ. Meaning what? Allah's approval is connected with your intention. You need to make efforts. You make one step, Allah make 10 steps. You make 10 steps, Allah make 100 steps. But if you remain where you are, you don't want to change, you remain there because you are insan. You've got the akal. You've got the desire. One beautiful ayah of Quran 17 verse 18. وَمَنْ كَانَ يُرِيدُ الْعَاجِلَ أَجَّلْنَا لَهُ فِيهَا مَا نَشَاءُ لِمَنْ نُرِيدُ ثُمَّ جَعَلْنَاهَا جَهَنَّمَ يَصْلَاهَا مَظْلُومًا مَدْحُورًا. Whoever wants akhir, dunya, ajila, Allah said what? We'll give it to him. You want dunya? We will give it to you. But then after that, we'll hold you. But وَمَنْ أَرَادَ الْآخِرَةَ وَسَعَى لَهَا سَعْيَهَا فَأُولَٰئِكَ كَانَ سَعْيُهُمْ مَشْكُورًا. But whoever desires akhirah and strive for akhirah, that is 19, their effort will be cherished by Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. So the relationship between your desire and Allah's desire is what? Allah's approval is connected with your desire. If you want to be good, Allah will make you good. If you don't want to be good, you decide to exercise your choice differently, it's your own problem. Let's go to the second stage of my examination. Kindly pay attention, Mu'minin and Mu'minat. We need to really be connected with Aba Abdullah. I always tell people, every year we have majalis. We invite scholars. We pay money. They fly, they come. So many funds. If at the end of this majlis we take nothing out of it, what is the point? It's not competition. It's to take lesson out of it. It's resources we are spending. It's not about ticking the boxes. You can't just come and tick the box and go. You need to meaningfully tick the box. How do you meaningfully tick the box? It's when you implement those lessons. Second stage of the examination, social change and personal or individual change. Kindly pay attention to this ayah, the ayah in question. Inna Allah la yugayyiru ma bi qawmin hatta yugayyiru ma bi anfusihim. 13:11. Allah will not change what is with people until they change what is in themselves. Two things here in this ayah. He will not change what is with people, meaning what? Social change. Until they change what is in themselves, meaning what? Individual and personal change. Now what's the relationship between the two? Social change is dependent on personal and individual change. You want community to be good? Each one of you must be good. You are community. Social change relies on individual changes. If I do not change and you do not change, when we all come to the community, community is not change. But if I take it upon myself to change and you take it upon yourself to change, our community will be excellent community. But for me to change, there are two conditions. Pay attention to these conditions. First condition is what? Thakafatul mas'uliyah. There must be what? Sense of responsibility. Each one of us must have sense of responsibility towards his community, towards your country, towards your county, towards your province. If you change positively, community change positively. Thakafatul mas'uliyah. How? There are people in the community, when they come, what they say? No, I am okay. My children are okay. Whatever happened in the community is none of my business. That's wrong. Individual change begins when you've got sense of responsibility and sense of belonging to your community. You have to be proud of where you are. You have to be proud of your country. You have to be proud of your community. It is Islamic to be proud of where you are. It is Islamic to be proud of where your rizq is coming from. It is ungratefulness according to Islam when you do not have sense of responsibility and sense of belonging to where your livelihood is dependent on. We belong to this community, Masumin Islamic Center. Why? Because it connects us with the world of the unseen. So what does it dictate? It dictates each and every one of us must have sense of belonging. Quran, so many verses. One ayah Allah will say what? وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالْحَقِّ وَتَوَاصَوْا Jazakallah. That's community. When we come to interact, I am seeking to become a better person. You are seeking to become a better person. But sometimes I have challenge. Sometimes you have challenge. What do? I don't shout at you. I do not ignore you. I do not label you. Tawasaw bil haqqi wa tawasaw bis sabr. Change. Abu Abdullah went out for change. Ikhwani wa Aizai, brothers and sisters. But change begins with you. You. Change begins with me. If I do not change, I cannot keep hammering on the community. Tawasaw bil haqq. Give glad tidings, advise each other with truth. But when you do that, sometimes it might be daunting, it might be cumbersome. What do? Bisabr, have a patience. One ayah said, وَالْمُؤْمِنُونَ وَالْمُؤْمِنَاتِ بَعْضُهُمْ أَوْلِيَاء بَعْضٍ. Believing men and believing women, they are friends and lovers to each other. Sense of belonging, that is the point. Be proud of your community, I mentioned last night. So you need to have that sense of responsibility. It's not only those who are tasked with authority, they are only responsible. Each and every one of us, one, you are responsible to your family. 2, you are responsible to your community like Masumin Center. 3, you are responsible to your location where you live. 4, you are responsible to your city. 5, you are responsible to your country. It's the message of Abu Abdullah alayhi salam. It's universal message. So you cannot fold your arm. So therefore, to embark on a journey of positive change, you need to have what? Sense of responsibility is crucial. 2, second condition and requirement. You need to have a strong belief that you can change. You're not wearing hijab, don't give up. Don't say this is how I was brought up. You're not praying your salah, don't give up. You're doing something wrong, don't give up. Believe that you are able to change. Because if you do not change, community is dead. We give lives to our communities. And that is why when you go to every community, people are divided into 3 when it comes to changes. There are those who say, no, there is nothing I can do, it's over. I'm on drugs, I can't change anymore. Unlawful substance. No, you can. I've not been wearing hijab for a long time, you can. I've not been praying, you can. There is nothing that I cannot. You've got strong willpower. Allah has given insan. And you are a strong unit of a community. Believe in yourself. That is why the Holy Prophet mentioned, Tafa'alu bil khairi tajidu. Be proactive when it comes to doing good. You will find good with you. Be proactive. We want to change. We want to make Imam Zaman proud. We want to make Ahlul Bayt proud. We want to, whoever we interact with, whether Muslim or non-Muslim, to see impeccable akhlaq with us. So it begins with you. It begins with me. Tafa'alu bil khair tajidu. So you can do it. Now let's go to the third examination. What are the elements of a changeable personality? Want to change? Allah, Allahu Akbar. Place in insan some strong and great potentials. If insan pays attention to them, you realize that you are so powerful creature of Allah. If you want to bring about positive change at Masumin Center, in your family, at your workplace, you should be able to do it. What I'm trying to do is what? Islam doesn't want you to isolate yourself, to remain in the cocoon of your house, to remain in the cocoon of your community. Go out, interact, have interfaith, have intrafaith, share Islamic views with people. You can do it. There are people, you only see them on the day of Ashura. Come, mix. Don't say, I will never go there again. Allah place you some elements. And those elements is in each and every insan. The first element is what? Is ta'aruf wa talaquh. What does it mean? Allah placed in every insan the potential to understand others. We've got that potential. Inna khalaqnakum min dhakarin wa untha waja'alnakum shu'uban wa qaba'ila li ta'arafu, meaning litakamalu. Created you tribes, nations, different colors for what? In order to know each other. So insan, you've got potentials to know me. I've got potential to know you. You know, beautifully, you know, Imam Jafar Sadiq salawatullahi wa salamu alayhi. You know, Imam Hussain said, لو علم الناس كيف خلق الله الخلق لما لام أحد أحدا. Allahu Akbar. Imam Jafar said, if wallah, all human beings or every insan will know how Allah created every individual, no one will blame anyone. You've got that potential to understand people. It is in you. You are sociable by nature. So you can't isolate yourself. Come out. You've got a potential. Second potential that Allah gave insan is what? Insan, in his nature, he loves khair and he wants to do khair to others. When you see someone not doing khair, it is against his nature. He needs time. If it's really taught and guided properly, the person will come back to doing khair. وَإِنَّهُ لَحُبِّ الْخَيْرِ لَشَدِيدٌ, Allah says. Insan, wallah, he is severe in loving khair. That is the nature of insan. Insan in essence is good. So there is good in you. There is good in me. Come, share that goodness in the community. And that is exactly what Abu Abdullah did in Karbala. And the third potential that Allah put in insan is what? Insan by nature is productive. And that is why, this is for the youth. Today there are a lot of struggles as to who is youth and what's the definition of youth. So some scholars came for it. There are two major definitions, psychological and biological. Biological is of age from maybe 15 or 13 to 39, 40, whatever. But psychological, they said a youth is someone who is what? Productive and creative. If you are youth and you are not productive and you are not creative, then you are wasting that stage of life. So Allah, when He created every insan, He placed in you the power to be productive. And how do you become productive? It's when you come to the community and mix in the community. Now let's come to our fourth one, which is about Abu Abdullah. What is that heavenly initiative of Abu Abdullah? Imam Husayn went out. Eventually, Abu Abdullah got killed. Why did he rise? Why did he go out? Still, every year Muharram we receive these questions. There are four opinions. The last one is the reason. But scholars wrote different ways. The first opinion said that no, Abu Abdullah went out because of sultan, because of power. They said Hussain alayhi salam wanted power. We said, Baba, Abu Abdullah knew that he was going to be killed. Why would he go out because of power? So that is neither here nor here. Second opinion, they said no. Abu Abdullah went out simply because he wanted to obtain the status of Shaheed. We said, nah, Baba, Ahlul Bayt, they annihilated in the love of Allah since time immemorial. Shahada to them is nothing. Shahada to them, what we say in the ziyarah? Assalamu ala du'ati ilallah. Salam unto those who invite to Allah. Abu Abdullah, look at his dua Arafah. How he would talk about Allah. So Abu Abdullah did not go out because he wanted to be Shaheed. He already reached that highest level. He doesn't need any level. Amir al-Mu'mineen would tell us, isn't it? I do not pray because I wanted to go to Jannah. Jannah is not an issue to them. But they wanted the haqq, and that haqq is Allah. Amir when we say your one rak'ah to Shias, he said the rak'atu li fi dunyakum ahabbu ilayya min al-jannati wa ma fiha. Amir al-Mu'mineen is telling us, Mu'mineen and Mu'minat, one rak'ah you offer, you as a lover of Ahlul Bayt, Imam Ali said, it's better for me, wallah, and so dear to me than Jannah and whatever is in Jannah. Allahu Akbar. So Abu Abdullah did not go out because of Shahada or because of Jannah. Third reason, they said no. Abu Abdullah went out so that he got killed and people cry. We said no, Habibi, you are mixing between result and objective. Tears is a result. It's not objective. If that is the case, why did Imam Hussain go out? You know. You know. All of us know. But are we really letting this to manifest in our lives? He made it very clear. إني ما خرجت أشرا ولا بطرا ولا رياء ولا مفسدا ولا ظالما إنما خرجت لطلب الإصلاح في أمة جدي أريد أن آمر بالمعروف وأنهى عن المنكر وأسير بسيرة جدي رسول الله. He went out to reform. People were not praying Salah. He went out to tell them pray. People were racist. He went out to tell them stop. People were marginalized. He went out to tell them no. People were accepting humiliation. He went out to tell them no. So Abu Abdullah alayhi salam went out to reform the ummah. That is why he would comfort and said, Inna da'i ibn da'i kad rakaza bayna snatayn bayna silla wa dhilla wa hayhata minna dhilla. No to humiliation. That's why he went out. Abu Abdullah said, Wallahi la utikum biyadi i'ta'a al-dhalil wala akirru. Or one riwayah said, wala afirru ifrar al-abid. He said, Wallah, I will not give you my hand like a dhalil, like a miserable person. And I will not run away from you like servant, like slave. What is that Islah that Abu Abdullah went out for? Islah, two things. Izzat of insan and your free will of thinking. Now, question to myself and to all of us here. Imam Hussain went out to reform. Are we reformed? How many years majalis? So what our relationship with the heavenly initiative of Abu Abdullah? Quran. This I want us to all do self-introspection, by the way. Quran comes forward and tells us, Inna salata tanha anil fakhsha'i wal munkar. That's where I begin with this information. Said when you pray, you make salah, your social ethics would be the best. How many years you've been praying? How many years I've been praying? Is my akhlaq that good? Allah promised, Inna salata tanha anil fakhsha'i wal munkar. Abu Abdullah one night will discuss about the perfect salah as one inspiration. But Abu Abdullah, he went to reform the ummah. He said, your izzah is in this. One of them is ibadah. And Allah promised when you do ibadah, your akhlaq change for better. How is your akhlaq? How is my akhlaq? How is your akhlaq at work? You know what Imam Jafar said? He said, our Shi'as, wherever you are, let your akhlaq be the highlight of that place. Are people talking about your good akhlaq at work or not? It means you've got a long way to go if not. Do you cheat in your business? It means you've got a long way to go. Abu Abdullah went out to reform. We are all here to cry for Abu Abdullah. How is your ibadah? Do you go for salah or not? It's simple. But do you do it? Hussain alayhi salam pray in the heat of Karbala. Innama kharajtu li talab al-islah. That's the change we are talking about. He prayed. He did not complain it was hot. Are you praying? If not, why then crying for Hussain? It doesn't make sense. Or does it make sense? No, 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 I want to get married, but I don't want a woman who wears hijab. Hope you cry for Abu Abdullah. Where is the correlation? Sayyidah Zainab complained when they removed the face veil. It's not the main hijab. But you are telling, no, no, you girl, if you wear hijab, I will marry you. Are we working towards changing? Because Abu Abdullah said, I am out to reform the ummah. So it means I need to reform myself and you need to reform yourself. Again, in Karbala, there was unity among family members. Shah Qasim and his brothers had unity. Are you united as brothers and sisters in your families? Ali al-Akbar, Imam Husayn al-Abidin, they were united. Are you united? Abu Abdullah went out to reform. Or you throw your father, you throw your mother, they are old, you don't care about them anymore. Abu Abdullah went out to reform. Or you are tired of them because they are old age. He welcomed everyone. He united the heart of people. How is your relationship with your Sunni brothers and sisters out there? Abu Abdullah did not segregate. Abu Abdullah did not cause division. Yes, be proud of being Shia. Die being Shia. But that doesn't mean that you cannot unite with others. The need of the world today is interfaith and intrafaith. That is why, if you examine the camp of Abu Abdullah, one night I will discuss that into details. You realize there were old people, there were women, there were young people from all walks of life. Are we united? Because Abu Abdullah went out for unity. You cannot sit here and say Labbaika ya Hussain, and he says Labbaika ya Hussain, and our hearts are divided. These are simple things that I mentioned. These are not philosophical matters or mystical matters. These are simple ethical matters that Hussain alayhi salam stood for. Parents of young children, how are you raising your children? Are you raising them through the values of Abu Abdullah or something else? إنما خرجت لطلب الإصلاح في أمتي جدي. I am out seeking reformation. That your son, that your daughter, what values are you instilling in them? It's crucial. When you claim to love Abu Abdullah, it has to be practical. So therefore, all of us, we've got work to do. We've got to try to become better people. I'm not saying we are bad. I'm not saying we are terrible. But we can go and go higher because Allah granted insan the potential to reach the climax of everything. And if you truly want to make Abu Abdullah proud, is to start determining to say, you know what? I've been a Shia for 40 years. I've been a Shia for 50 years. I've been attending the majalis of Abu Abdullah. I'm talking to all of us, including myself, young and old, especially the youth. This is very beautiful stage of your life. Don't waste it. Life today is too fast. There are so many challenges in life. At this stage, if you don't work to become religious, when I talk of religious, meaning somebody who abide by the do's and don'ts of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you become a law-abiding citizen and become a better person. If you don't do it now, you will regret later. That's what Hussain alayhi salam stood for. So therefore, it has to begin with us. Each and every one of us, let's work on ourselves. Let's work on our iman. Let's work on our akhlaq, meaning spiritual and social. Two dimensions. Material, we are working for it. I don't want to belabor the point on that. But spiritual and social, we need to start working towards it and to be able to achieve the highest level as per the traditions of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salatu wassalam. And if you find it very difficult, seek divine intervention for Allah to penetrate your heart. Are we lovers of Abu Abdullah? When insan is suffering in the world and we fold our hands, poor people are dying. Some people are in prison unlawfully. إنما خرجت لطلب الإصلاح. I am out seeking to reform. Somebody in Pakistan, somebody in Syria, somebody in Yemen, in Nigeria, people are suffering. Do we remember them or we fold our arms? Do we donate generously toward the suffering of others? That's what Abu Abdullah stood for. To that extent, someone who blocked Abu Abdullah from getting to water, Abu Abdullah would give him water and forgive him. Hussain, Wallah, I promise you, mu'minin and mu'minat, me, I wasn't born a Shia. But Wallah, if not because of Hussain, we are nothing. Hussain is Hussain. Let's take lessons from Hussain. These majalis are vehicles for us to become better persons. So I challenge myself again, and I challenge all of us. Let us talk to ourselves and say, this Muharram, I am going to determine, these are my challenges, 1, 2, 3. But take one, the topmost priority one, and say, you know what, I'm going to try working towards it. I want to change to become a better person. I want to make Hussain proud. I want to make Imam Zaman proud. I want to make Allah proud. Wallah, if you are determined, Allah will soften your heart and you'll get it. We are blessed. We are blessed. I'm becoming a bit emotional. We are blessed. You know why we are blessed? We live in peacefully. We go to work and come back safely. We need to appreciate that and be grateful to Allah. I and you don't have any excuse but to emulate the footsteps of Ahlul Bayt. There are people in other places of the world, they will think 10 times before they even go to a majlis. There are people, they don't have access to any, young and old. You are blessed. You've got the potentials to make Ahlul Bayt proud. Imam Husayn wants us to be the highlight of wherever we are. In your education, how are you faring? Are you low or high? Do you want to make the school of thought of Ahlul Bayt proud? What's the level of your education? What stops you from going higher? This is a true lover of Ahlul Bayt and Husayni. When I go to that hospital, looking for the best doctor, I ask who? They say no, that's Shia. That makes Ahlul Bayt proud. Looking for the best engineer, who? No, that boy Mohammed Jafar, Shia. Looking for the best businessman in terms of ethics, in terms of everything, Shia. So youth, we've got a challenge, And it's easy, take it on. That's part of the reformation that Abu Abdullah stood for. Your parents have done very well. They squeezed water out of stones to make you who you are today. Be proud of being a Shia. Be proud of being a true lover of Ahlul Bayt. Once we work on ourselves, then we can then be proud of telling the world Hussain is universal. I mentioned last night, Hussain is universal. Newspaper, youth, how many of you are writing to them about Hussain? Write one top newspaper here about the universal message of Abu Abdullah. Spread the message. You've got community radio stations. Is there any plan to go there, even for 5 minutes, to speak about the universal message of Abu Abdullah? TV stations we have. Is there any plan to go there and speak about the universal message of Abu Abdullah? Sayyidah Zainab played that advocacy role. Imam Zainul Abidin played journalistic role they played. Are we going to do something about that or not? Or are we going to just keep it to us like we are the custodians of Abu Abdullah? So we have some work to do. And if we are determined, Allah will help us. In tansurullaha yansurkum wa yuthabbit aqdamakum. If you assist in the cause of Allah, Allah will assist you and then He will make you steadfast. And inshallah, from tonight, as you know, we're going to just continue with these discussions. Tomorrow, we'll look at how the universe, earth, heaven, and every single creature of Allah is inclined to Allah and inclined to Abu Abdullah. And then we look at how insan is even more inclined and what insan can do to better that inclination. So Hussain is heavenly plan on earth. Take this masterpiece plan and start executing the plan. And if you really take it and execute it, it's good. I was telling my brother here that, you know, we've done well as Shias, but we have not taken Abu Abdullah to the intellectuals, to academics, to politicians, to universities. What stops us? Can't we do that? Can't we break through? Is there anything wrong with the message of Abu Abdullah? Isn't it is the message that the current world is in need of? So therefore, Mu'minin and Mu'minat, let's all reflect and think. When we go back home, let's really reflect and ask yourself, what change do I want to see in myself by the end of the majalis of Abu Abdullah? And as I said last night, I don't expect you to take all the lessons that I mentioned here. Take at least one thing. I beg you, Mu'minin and Mu'minat, I beg you. Let's make the majlis beneficial. Take at least one lesson. Once you take one lesson, you don't understand anything, I'm always here. You can ask me, inshallah. Take one lesson, think about it, digest it. Is it making sense or it's not making sense? If it's not making sense, ask me. I will still shed some light on it. Once you take the lesson, young and old, it will help us. And that majlis will become efficient and it will become effective, inshallah. Now tonight being the second night, I want us really to take our hearts to the holy city of Medina. Because Medina is the beginning of the Masa'ib of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. And you know, when I talk of Medina, I talk of Bibi Fatima alayha salam. And of course, not only Medina, we take our hearts also to Makkah al-Mukarramah. When we talk of Makkah, we talk of Khadija al-Kubra alayha salam. If it wasn't because of Fatima and wasn't because of Khadija, we were not going to have Ashura and Abu Abdullah alayhi salam. And you know very well, Mu'minin and Mu'minat, there is no place like Makkah. There is no place like Kaaba. Why? Because the grandfather of Abu Abdullah received the revelation next to Kaaba. I want to pay attention to this Masa, Allah. And you will see the Mazlumiyya of Abu Abdullah. His grandfather received the revelation next to Kaaba. His father was born in Kaaba. Is that all? No. His grandmother spent everything she had for the dignity and honor of Kaaba. But you know what happened? Hussain came to Kaaba and he was strengthened. Baba Hussein's father was born in Kaaba. But now you are sending your entourage to tell Hussain that if you dare go next to Kaaba, your blood would be shed. Allahu Akbar. There is similarities between Khadija al-Kubra and Abu Abdullah. Abu Abdullah alayhi salam, yes, did not meet Khadija, but he loved Khadija. To such an extent, he would stand in Karbala and say, I am the grandson of Khadija. Why do you want to kill me? Have you forgotten the role and contributions of Khadija in Islam, I am the grandson of Khadija al-Kubra. But what are the similarities between Abu Abdullah al-Husayn and Bibi Khadija alayha salam? Husayn sacrificed his life for Islam. Likewise, Khadija sacrificed her life in Islam. Allah, she sacrificed. Khadija, she ended up eating grass to survive. She spent everything she had for the sake of Islam. Abu Abdullah alayhi salam also spent everything he had for Islam. But you know the worst part of it is what? There was no kafan for Hussein. And there was no kafan for Khadija. You know where I'm going, you know that narration? The lady who had a lot of money, before she died, she called Fatima al-Zahra, Khadija. She said, Fatima, I have one request. Can you ask your father on my behalf? Fatima said, yes, mommy, tell me, what do you want from dad? Said, I want to kindly tell your dad, when I die, he should bury me with the abaya he prays with. Bibi Fatima went to Rasulullah. She told Rasulullah, he said, Dan. But look at the narration when Bibi Khadija left this world. Rasulullah came to shroud Khadija, but that cloth was too small for Khadija. Baba, there was no kafan for Khadija. That was when narration mentioned Rasulullah raised up his hand, he made dua, Ya Allah, I am your prophet, rahmatan lil alameen. And this is my wife Khadija, she spent everything for Islam. I have no kafan to bury Khadija. Narration mentioned Allah responded to the calling of Rasulullah, and Allah sent Jibreel with 5 kafans. Rasulullah, look at Jibreel, Ya Jibreel, these 5 kafans are for who? He said the first kafan you sit to bury Khadija. Then he said the second kafan. He said the second kafan is for you, Rasulullah. It's as if Allah was telling Jibreel and telling Rasulullah, Ya Rasulullah, you will be told you are hallucinating. Rasulullah asked Jibreel, the third kafan? Allahu Akbar. He said the third kafan is for Fatima al-Zahra. 5th kafan, he said 5th kafan is for the shaheed of Mihrab of Masjid Kufa, Amir al-Mu'minin. 4th kafan, he said then the last kafan is for who? Allah, I tell you, the shahada of Imam Hassan al-Mushtaba is painful. Said the last kafan, bury Hassan. But you know how Imam Hassan died, isn't it? Poison, not only poison. They were carrying their body, arrows on the body of Imam Hassan. Abu Abdullah reached Jannat al-Baqi. He had to remove arrows from the body of Imam al-Hassan before he buried. Rasulullah then looked at Jibreel. He said, where is the kafan for Hussein? Jibreel said, Hussein will be slaughtered like an animal. يذبح ذبح الشاة. There will be no kafan for Abu Abdullah. He will be slaughtered. But I tell you, mu'mineen and mu'minat, the al-Masa'ib is the Masa'ib of Fatima al-Zahra. When the authorities sent their henchmen to the house of Fatima, they got to the house, they called out to come out. Fatima said, this is the house of the daughter of Rasulullah. What was the response? They pushed the door on Fatima. What happened when they pushed the door? The door broke the ribs of Fatima. Later on, Imam Jafar remembered the broken rib of Fatima al-Zahra. One day, a lady was walking in the market of Banu Umayyah. The lady fell down. The moment she fell down, she said, Ya Allah, curse the killers of Fatima al-Zahra. The lady got arrested. One companion of Imam Jafar saw that, he rushed to Imam. Imam, make dua for the lady to be released. Imam made dua, the lady was released. When they brought the lady to Imam Ja'far, Imam asked her, why did you curse the killer of Fatima al-Zahra? She said, my Imam, as I was falling down, I realized I was falling on my rib. That was the moment I understood the pains of Fatima al-Zahra. And that is why narration mentioned when Amir al-Mu'mineen was busy making the ghusl of Fatima al-Zahra, Asma bint Umays mentioned, she said all of a sudden Imam Ali stopped the ghusl. He went and sat on one corner of the house and Ali began to cry. Asma said, Wallah, I've never seen Ali crying like that. I approach Ali and I ask him, oh Ali, why are you crying like that? You know, the response breaks the heart of the lover of Fatima al-Zahra. Imam Ali looked at Asma, he said, Asma, as I'm busy making the ghusl of Fatima al-Zahra, my right hand went and touched the broken rib of Fatima al-Zahra. But you know, the martyrs of Karbala, especially the household of Ahlul Bayt, they all remembered Fatima al-Zahra. Remember that final moment of the life of Ali al-Akbar? Narration mentioned Ali would smile. I'm going to leave you with this line only. I've taken much of your time. Ali would smile and Ali would cry. Ali al-Akbar would smile and Ali would cry. Abu Abdullah asked Ali, why are you crying? Why are you smiling? Ali said, I smile because I see Rasulullah. But Ali John, why are you crying? He said, I see Fatima slapping on her cheek. Allah la'anatullahi ala al-qawmi al-zalimin. Wallah, I tell you, Masayib of Ahlul Bayt is very painful. Imam Hussain will see Mughira after the Shahada of Fatima, and Imam Hussain will begin to cry. They ask Imam Hussain, why are you crying? He said, I remember when we went to the mosque with my mother to render the khutbah of Fadak. When we were coming back, Mughira appeared from behind and he slapped on the right eye of Fatima. La'natullahi ala al-qawmi al-zalimin. Inna lillah wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Raise up your hands, mu'mineen and mu'minat. Let's make dua before Ma'atam. We ask Allah to continue to instill the love of Abu Abdullah in our hearts. Allah, we ask you, we are your slaves, we are your servants. We don't claim to be perfect. We only try in our level best. Allah, we beseech in your presence. Strengthen our weakness, inshallah. Allah, we are weak. We try our level best. We rise, we fall. We rise, we fall. We rise, we fall. But we know, Allah, you are so merciful. You'll never leave us alone. Allah, continue to shower us with your mercy, inshallah. Allah, we have challenges, we have difficulties in our lives. Allah, we ask you, help us to overcome our challenges and difficulties. Mu'mineen and mu'minat, brothers and sisters across the globe, Muslims and non-Muslims alike, who are suffering, who are going through difficulties, who are going through the challenges, Ya Allah, bihaqqil Hussain, alleviate their sufferings, inshallah. And Allah tabarak wa ta'ala increase the love amongst us through the love of Abu Abdullah al-Hussain. Ma'atam al-Hussain, Ya Hussain, Ya Hussain.